This is the Redragon EISA Pro. It's a wireless mechanical keyboard with gasket mounting, hot swappable PCB, and tri-mode connection. But are these features enough to say that this keyboard is worth it? Let's find out. Just a quick disclaimer, this keyboard was sent to us by Redragon. However, all views and opinions in this video are my own. Rest assured that this will be an honest review. Inside the box, you'll see a user manual, some stickers, a cable for charging and wired mode connection, free switches, a keycap and switch puller, and lastly, the EISA Pro itself. It has 96% layout with 98 keys. It also has an OEM profile, which is the typical profile we see in budget wireless mechanical keyboards. One good feature of this keyboard is the placement of the toggle switches and the USB port. It's on the left side instead of the typical placement, which is in the middle. For me, this looks cleaner and it also makes the toggle switches accessible. Meanwhile, on the right side, you can see the USB dongle compartment. And if you flip the board, you'll see the usual components like the rubber feet and kickstands. Aside from the 96% layout, the EISA Pro has a dedicated multifunctional knob. This knob can adjust the volume, toggle the mute functionality of the device the keyboard is connected to, and also adjust the lighting of the keyboard. Additionally, it's easy to remove if you want to customize it. Just pull it upwards and that's it. I guess there are aftermarket volume knobs that can fit since it has a D shaft. Another good feature of the EISA Pro is its battery. In my testing, I got 78 hours of wireless time using the 2.4 GHz wireless connection with the RGB turned on. 78 hours is really long for a wireless keyboard with the lighting turned on. And this is because of the 3000 mAh battery capacity. As for the charging time, I got 2 hours in my testing. Also, the EISA Pro has a battery monitoring feature using a key combination. Just press the FN plus delete and the numbers 1 to 0 will illuminate, indicating the current battery life. For me, this is very important for a keyboard without an LED screen to display the battery level information. I think this feature should be a must and should not be treated as a nice to have. Since I already mentioned the wireless capability of this keyboard, the EISA Pro can connect via Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz wireless connection, and wired mode connection. So far, I haven't encountered any delays or interference when using the Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz wireless connections. This is also the same on wired mode. The connection is smooth so far. Moreover, the keyboard is charging while the connection is set to wired mode. As for its OS switch, the EISA Pro works as expected on both Mac and Windows. All functionalities are working on both OS as per my testing. However, I wasn't able to test it on Linux. So for people who use the said operating system, I cannot vouch if this keyboard works on it. As for its software, you can download it on the Redragon Shop website. The UI of the software is good and easy to understand. Inside, you can do the usual settings like mapping the custom functions, adjust the lighting, and add macro settings. There's also a debounce time setting, which is new to me. This is the first time I see a keyboard software with debounce time setting. And if you check on VIA, the EISA Pro is not supported. As for the price of this keyboard, it's between 3,100 to 3,600 pesos on Shopee and Lazada. And if you check on Redragon Shop, it's around 3,800 pesos or around $65 US. By the way, I posted some links below of my trusted online stores. Feel free to check it out. The teardown process of this keyboard is pretty easy. You just need to unscrew the screws at the bottom and pull out the multifunctional knob, and that's it. Upon pulling the top casing, you'll immediately see the gasket mounting and you can open the board right away. The bottom casing contains some foam, a 3000 mAh battery, and a daughter board for the toggle switches. For you to separate the bottom casing from the PCB, you need to detach a ribbon cable, and the J is the cable of the battery. As for the stabilizers, they are factory lubed but wobbly. Well, it's a budget keyboard, so I think this is expected. I also tried other switches just to check if they fit. Fortunately, the switches I use fit the keyboard. By the way, I use the Akko Fairy silent switches in case you're wondering. When purchasing this board, we don't have the freedom to choose the switches. Unlike other brands, buying pre-built keyboards have switch options, which is great. Anyway, the EISA Pro is only available on red linear switches. If you check, they have Redragon branding. They are also not lube, and I think it's good because some brands who sell pre-built keyboards tend to overlube them. Moreover, the ABS keycaps measures 1.4mm, which is the typical measurement of keycaps we see in pre-built keyboards. To be honest, I was hoping for PBT keycaps, but I think they opted for ABS to cut down the price. By the way, here's a quick sound test of the keyboard. Overall, the EISA Pro is a good budget mechanical keyboard. It's gasket mounted, has tri-mode connection, and has an impressive battery life. The layout and multifunctional knob is a plus 2. It also has a downloadable software to customize the settings of this keyboard. However, it will be better if we have the freedom to choose the switches when purchasing this board since it's pre-built. And another concern for me are the switches. It easily breaks when you're pulling them out. Aside from the aforementioned concerns, I think this board is a tad expensive. If I'm going to give it a price, it will be 2,400 pesos or around $42 US. And to answer our question, is this keyboard worth it? I think it's not. There are mechanical keyboards with the same specifications which are priced below 3,000 pesos or $52 US. And some of those boards are even better than the EISA Pro. But Redragon improved a lot in terms of their mechanical keyboards. The EISA Pro is a great improvement compared to the Redragon Kitava that I have tried before. So hopefully this video will help them realize the shortcomings of the EISA Pro and create better keyboards in the future. And that's it guys, we have reached the end part now. Hopefully this video helped you in deciding whether to get the EISA Pro or not. Till our next, goodbye.